What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to KO Bets, the show where we'll discuss upcoming betting strategies for UFC events. My name is Bill. I'm here to help make you some money and provide you with some entertainment tonight. We're going to be discussing the upcoming UFC event. We've got UFC Fight Night, Song vs. Simon. UFC Apex Arena, 6 p.m. Central Time. Nice. A little bit earlier start time. I like that. Generally. We got to do trending topics. We'll do that. I haven't done it in a little while since I had that fucking disaster at 287. Before we get started, though, like 2 weeks ago at 287, we finished up like over 9 units. Last week I was like, we got to play this conservative, right? We just made a you know what I'm saying, a shit ton. We made a lot of shit. And so we were going to be conservative. We couldn't lose. Again, Muhammad Usman, decision, plus 450. Montel Jackson to win via KO. This one we lost. That one we lost. We definitely lost that one. Wells against Semmelsberger, I think that was a decision. Bobby Green, that was voided, right? Because of it was no contest. Bruno Silva, we got that one. Norma Dumont, we got that as well. And then for the parlays, this one was just a straight up Montel Jackson win. This one we won, minus 132. Yes, void, yes. Oh, this is the only one we got wrong in this one. We would have finished up huge if we hit that little parlay, but yeah, we're doing very well the last 2 weeks. We're on a bit of a hot streak, so I gotta recalculate where we're at unit tracking wise, but definitely pleased to be on a hot streak. So before we go over this week's event, let's look at last week's. Pavlovich against Blades. Brady Highstand got the win. We got that right. I picked Francis Marshall. Ended up going to William Gomez, split decision. I thought that was thought William won it. I didn't think Francis really had anything that fight. Usman, we got the unanimous decision. That was big. We took Norma Dumont. That was big. Montel Jackson, just a much better striker than Ronnie Yahya. Really took his time. Found the knockout in round 1. You get what I'm saying. He didn't rush it. It was like, yeah, there was a little over a minute and a half left or something. Ricky Glenn, Giagos won. I picked Ricky Glenn. Jeremiah Wells got the split decision. A lot of people felt like Semmelsberger won. I could see that argument. We took Yasmin Lucindo. Bobby Green, that was no contest. Right? No contest, yeah. Bruno Silva, we got that. And then Curtis Blades, we missed that. So... one, two, three, 7 wins, 1, 2, 3 losses on the money line with a no contest. So not a bad week. Another winning week on the money line predictions. Let's go to this week. UFC Fight Night song against Simon. Let me put that thing away. It's distracting. It's distracting. It's distracting. Oh, by the way, right here, give me a follow on Twitter. We're up big. We're up big. What are you doing? Haley Cohen taking on Jamie Lynn Horth. Haley Cohen is a Dana White Contender Series fighter, won a split decision, making her UFC debut. 7-2 professionally. She's taking on Worth, who's going up in weight class, also making her UFC debut. All 5 of Jamie Lynn Worth's victories have come inside the distance. I mean, I think it's going to be a really, really close fight. I'm curious what Horth looks like the longer this fight goes. I think Haley Cohen, she might be, I don't know, she might be a little bit bigger, be more physical. She is very athletic. I don't know, she might be able to hold her own against Jamie Lynn in the first. I'm going to go with Haley in this fight. I don't feel super confident about it. Both of her losses were submission losses, so maybe if you're betting on Jamie Lynn, you bet on the submission. Odds makers like Jamie Lynn in this fight. I'm just not, I don't know. I don't feel super confident about it. Odds makers, fight to go the distance, no, at plus 130. And you're telling me, so, I mean, there's probably, if you like Horth, there's probably some value on that. And then I think there's some value on that submission at plus 300. But I'm going to go with Haley Cohen to win a decision. That's what I think is going to happen. We'll find out. We'll find out. The next fight we've got, I'm kind of bummed. Oh, we can't even expand this. I'm kind of bummed out about this next one. Journey Newson was supposed to take on Brian Kelleher. Brian Kelleher, he's no longer fighting tomorrow. We've got Marcus McGee stepping in on short notice. I guess Marcus McGee's like a pretty strong striker, carries some power. I think this is an easier matchup for Journey Newsom than Brian Kelleher was going to be. I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, all 6 of Marcus McGee's wins have been knockout victories. I mean, Journey Newsom just needs to stay safe, I think. He should win this fight. He could get this fight to the ground, do some grappling, win that way. But I'm gonna go with Journey Newsom. I'm gonna go with Journey Newsom on the money line. So, primarily because Marcus McGee is coming in here on short notice, and I think he is going to go for broke, and if he can't get Journey Newsom out of there. How many knockout losses does Journey have? 2. Oh. He lost to Randy Costa? I don't like the look of that, but... Alright, anyways, going with Journey Newsom on the money line. KO, or the Marcus McGee KO. What are we thinking? Journey Newsom ground and pound? I I guess it could happen. I don't know. I kind of like the over if I'm going with Journey Newson. I kind of like the decision at plus 240. I kind of like that. Probably not gonna bet on the first two fights, to be honest. Yeah, I really don't know about these first two. I think they're kind of sketchy. The next fight we've got is Stephanie Egger taking on Irina Alekhin. She's 3-2 in the UFC. Irina, she's making her UFC debut. She was 1-0 in Bellator. She missed weight. She came in, I think for this 135-pound fight, she came in weighing 140. So not really sure what happened there. I really don't know. And then she celebrated it. So I'm a little bit confused. I mean, it's got to be a good thing she didn't cut that extra 5 pounds, but I'm going to give this to Stephanie. I think she just needs to be tough, active. I think she's a stronger grappler than Irina. I'm just not really sold on her. She is very tall. Like I said, she is weighing in a little overweight. But I'm going to go with Stephanie. Stephanie's a minus 300 favorite. And I like the decision. Odds makers like this to go the distance. If it's not a decision, they like the submission for Stephanie. What are Stephanie's losses? 1 submission loss, 2 decision losses. That was Mayra Buena Silva, though. I don't think Irina's Mayra Buena Silva on the mat. I'm going to go with Stephanie Egger on the money line. Probably a decision method of victory. I kind of like that one to go the distance. The odds on that. So, I will say Irina is... she does scramble, so I don't know, kind of low output. I think if she wins, she does something crazy and pulls it off, maybe really hurts Stephanie at some point, but I think if Stephanie can get some takedowns, get this to the mat, she's going to win pretty convincingly. The next fight, I'm really excited for. To be honest, I'm not too in tune with what the is going on Twitter with these two, but I think they were talking a little bit of smack back and forth. We've got Cody Durden taking on Charles Johnson. Cody Durden, he's on a 2-fight win streak, and Charles Johnson, he's on a 1-fight losing streak. He lost to O.D. Osborne. Yeah, so I'm a big Charles Johnson fan. I the fight against Makayev. It wasn't like he won by any means, but he just showed he's got the potential to be very resilient against grapplers, but he gets taken down a lot. And then I didn't really like his output too much on the feet the last fight. I think he's a really, really talented athlete, Charles Johnson, and I think he just kind of needs to put it all together. But I think he's got a shot to make a run. Probably, I'd say he's got a shot to make a run in the towards the top 10 of his division. he's taking on Cody Durden, who's a grappler, very grapple heavy. So, and we've seen this. Charles Johnson does get taken down. He gets up, like he was getting up against Makayev. Makayev had 11 takedowns or 12 takedowns, and he was getting up. But, I mean, that's a recipe to lose round 1, probably. Is it a recipe to lose round 2? I don't know. But I think the longer this fight goes, the better Charles is going to look. Just because he's got terrific cardio. But it's definitely... I also think Charles is just the more talented fighter. But stylistically, he's got to avoid takedowns in round 2 and 3. I mean, that's got to be the recipe. Because if he's gonna settle and get taken down in round 1 and lose round 1, I mean, that sucks. I mean, I would maybe look at a live bet opportunity, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with Charles Johnson on the money line. I think Charles Johnson. I mean, what has Cody Durden lost via? 3 submission losses. I don't think Charles Johnson's going to submit him, but probably a decision. Charles Johnson is the favorite at minus 135. Odds makers like this one to go the distance. I kind of like that bet. Winning method. Charles decision plus 180. Cody Durden decision plus 200. The decision is minus 175, right? As we mentioned. Yeah, I mean, the decision, that might be a play piece for me, or maybe the over at minus 205. So I noticed this on the side here, and I was like, point spread. This is crazy. So check this out. So if the fighter wins via KO, submission, or DQ, then they automatically cover the point spread, right? So if you bet on Jamie Lynn Horth on the point spread at minus 3.5, and she goes out there, gets a submission, you win. However, if it goes to a decision and Jamie Lynn Horth wins 30-27, you lose. She would need to win she would need to win a decision 30-26 or greater. So it's kind of sketchy, but it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. And I'm trying to think where it adds a little bit of forgiveness. I guess if you like the finish on a fighter, right? It gives you a little bit of cushioning if they go out there and they're just facing someone tough as nails and they just whoop the shit out of them, right? 30-26, 30-25. That'd be 2 10-8s. I mean, so you're basically banking on 1 10-8 round, right? It's kind of crazy. In my opinion, that's kind of crazy. I don't know. Maybe there's opportunities to do that. I don't know. And just like how they have it arranged, like, I almost feel like 2.5 would be better. And then you make the odds based off of 2.5. Because that's a unanimous or not a unanimous, right? Or a majority. The difference between unanimous and majority. So, I don't know. We're going Charles Johnson decision. Could be an opportunity to do the splitty. I don't know why I called it that. Splitter majority. Could be an opportunity. The next fight we've got is Martin Buday taking on Jake Collier. Martin Buday, he's 2-0 in the UFC, coming off of Dana White's Contender Series. Jake Collier, he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Jake he doesn't carry like the best record. I'm going to just pull it up here. Like, he's losing to Chris Barnett, Arlovsky. He beat Sherman, Vellante. Like, okay, Tom Aspinall, Devin Clark, whatever. But, I don't know. I'm looking at some of these people he's beating, and I'm not super impressed by it, so I think I'm going to go with Martin Buday. I like him to just like use his size against Jay Collier. He's going to be much bigger. Just try and wrestle with him, push him up against the fence. So I'm going to take Martin Buday. Probably a decision, I would say. Which is maybe weird for the heavyweight. Martin Buday's at minus 125. Interesting. Odds makers do like this to go the distance. I think just stylistically, like if it's fought just standing up, Jake Collier's gonna just tee off on Buday. But I expect Buday to be much, much bigger and to just use his body weight. Maybe Snorlax his way to a 3-round decision. Give me Martin Buday via decision. We'll see what that's at plus 300. They like, odds makers like the KO, huh? Plus 225. I don't think Buday's had a KO in the UFC. He's got 7 total KOs. I mean, this could be the one, I guess, against Jake. How many KO losses does Jake have? 4. Yeah, he got knocked out by Barnett. I don't know, though. I kind of like that decision for Buday. Kind of like the decision period at minus 120. The next fight we've got is Josh Quinlan taking on Trey Waters. Trey Waters is making his UFC debut. He is stepping in on short notice to fight Josh Quinlan. I mean, this dude is huge. He's 6'5", so he's gonna have a big reach advantage. That's kind of crazy. Josh Quinlan, he possesses a lot of power. He's 1-0 in the UFC. I think both of them are live for the knockout in this fight. I'm gonna roll with Josh Quinlan, who's just coming on here with a little bit. Dude, this guy fought April 14th. Fought 2 weeks ago. I'm going to roll with Quinlan in this fight. I mean, I think I like the KO or something inside the distance. But I'm going to roll with Quinlan here. to get the knockout. Minus 175 for Quinlan. Let's see what the man, I feel bad. Like, I'm happy that the Warriors are moving on as a basketball fan, but like, I just feel bad for the Kings, you know? You gotta feel for them, because it is like, it's shitty, right? When your team loses, it is shitty, but I really enjoy watching the Warriors. The Bears drafted Jervon Dexter, 6'6", 310. Interesting. All right, let's focus, Bill. Josh Quinlan. I like Josh Quinlan here. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance at minus 450. I'd have to agree with that. Even fight lines at 1.5. Damn it. I was going to say that would be fucking sweet if it was 2.5. Quinlan plus 110 for the KO. Waters plus 275. I mean, maybe there's some sort of under KO, like parlay at minus 160. Like, something like that. I kind of like combining the knockout with the under. I think that's interesting. If you want to get a little more risky, you could do 1.5. Because I think it is going to be just, they're going to come out swinging. Both of those dudes. Next fight we've got is Marcos Rogerio de Lima. Waldo Cortez Acosta. Marcos is on a 1-fight win streak. He's coming off of a submission win against Andrei Arlovsky. Waldo's 2-0 in the UFC. He had a KO victory on Dana White's Contender Series. Hasn't really fought anyone of note. Vandera and Chase Sherman. See, decisions. He fought them. I really like De Lima in this fight. His odds are minus 190. I really like De Lima. I'm not trusting this resume, this 9-0 record at all for Acosta. Neither are the odds makers. You can't do MMA math, but I feel like this is the biggest test of Acosta's career thus far. And when you're fighting like Vandera and Chase Sherman to decisions, that's not exactly what I would like to see. So I really like De Lima in this fight. Oh shit. I think he's dangerous early. He's gonna have a clear advantage if this fight gets to the mats. He's a very good kicker for the heavyweight division. Very powerful, explosive. He's gonna be most dangerous early in this fight, no doubt about it. But I feel comfortable, like, he'll be able to get this fight to the mat. Let's see the takedown defense of Acosta. 66% against, I mean, I don't know if Vandera or Sherman went for any takedowns, but Marcos is for sure going to get those takedowns if he goes for him. So I hope he does. But I'm going to go with Marcos here. Honestly, I'm very confident in him. I'm kind of feeling something inside the distance. Odds makers like it to go and inside the distance. Okay. Minus 225. Okay. De Lima, they like the knockout at plus 150. A little ground and pound, probably. I'm not really feeling that. Why not the submission? Why not? You know? It's crazy. They like the knockout or the decision. But I feel like De Lima could for sure get a submission potentially. So I'm not really thrilled about any of those lines. I am kind of thrilled about the minus 175 there. I think that's pretty sweet. So I'm going to go with Marcos there. By the way, if you're not already, you can see my Twitter. I'm hovering the mouse over it on the screen. It's kind of, let me get it off of his nipple. Let me get it like right there. Perfect. That's where I'll post my official bets. I'll post those screenshots of DraftKings. I'll do that in the morning tomorrow. I'm doing a summer shandy. I did a grapefruit one earlier. This one's just a lemonade one. Goose Island. Julian Erosa taking on Fernando Padilla. This is an interesting fight. I think that... So Fernando's making his UFC debut. Erosa's coming off. Erosa's can get cracked. And that's not good, right? That's never good. And you're facing a stand-up artist in Fernando Padilla. The one thing I'll say is Erosa's going to have a clear advantage on the mat if the fight turns grappling. You gotta like Erosa. You gotta like him. I think Erosa should wrestle. I think he can win rounds with takedowns. Fernando's takedown defense is not very good. I don't think his cardio is very good. I think he's going to be most dangerous early in this fight. Looking at the frames, very similar in size and reach. Both are pretty big for the division. I think Erosa's key to this fight is, dude, just fight smart, get takedowns, and you'll fucking win this shit. Get takedowns, you can control Padilla, you'll win this decision. The only problem is Erosa gets hit a lot. You can see that. Look at that output. That's tremendous. Over 6 strikes landed per minute. That's tremendous. That might be the best on the entire card. Quinlan's is pretty high. Yeah, I don't really know anyone else's that's going to be that high. So I'm sure Erosa's is the highest on the card. He gets hit more than he dishes it out. So it's just like, dude, just grapple. Just wrestle this guy. You got the win. You're better than him. You know? So I'm going to go with him. I'm going to go with Juicy J, Julian Erosa, minus 150. Betting favorite odds on Erosa, don't feel good about. Odds makers do not like this to go the distance. Minus 250. That's interesting to me. They like the Erosa submission. 1 second. Got some Fernando Padilla. They like the knockout method of victory. I mean, Erosa does have a lot of submission victories, right? I don't know. Yeah. I kind of feel like there's some value on the decision there. Basically, just wrestle him. Every round, get a takedown. Hold him down. Stay out of trouble early. Get him tired. Can win this fight. So I'm going to go with Julian Erosa. The next fight is Rodolfo Vieira taking on Cody Brundage. Rodolfo is on a 1-fight losing streak. He just lost to Chris Curtis. Cody Brundage is on a 1-fight losing streak. He just lost to Michael Olajaychik, who we're going to talk about, I think, next. Yep. And, stylistically, we've got Rodolfo, who's just a tremendous grappler. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Very dangerous in the submission department. Very, very strong on the mat. And then on Cody Brundage's side, you've got a guy who just has tremendous pressure, pretty decent output, even though it's not reflected here in these numbers. Also a good grappler in his own right. I think the line here is kind of misleading. I do not think... I think if Rodolfo gets it done, it's a submission. It probably looks fairly routine and easy, so I think that's why we see the line the way it is. But I think Brundage can definitely get to this guy. I think he can wear on him cardio-wise if the fight goes long. I think he's going to be dangerous early. He's going to be very powerful as a striker. He just can't get caught in a bad position, and I think he's extremely live as an underdog. Kind of going back and forth on this one. I don't love Vieira's cardio. The longer the longer this fight goes. Gosh. I'm going to go with Cody Brundage for the upset. We're going to settle on Brundage to get this upset. Plus 195. And I'd say a decision. Or a knockout. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. Minus 360. Brundage knockout plus 350. Vieira submission minus 105. Brundage has never been submitted. I don't know if I see it from Rodolfo. An easy... I know I said it. If he wins, it'll probably be submission and look fairly routine. That's going to be like my error, right? That's because I underestimated him. But I don't see it being that easy. So I'm going to go with Cody there. I guess the KO or decision. Plus 215. Guess I like that. Alright, this next fight. I am a big fan of Barallo. Cow Barallo. I'm a big fan. I think he's really, really talented. He's taking on Michael Olajaychik. I had it. I don't know if it's the Summer Shandy. Michael Oleksiejczuk. Michael Oleksiejczuk is taking on Barallo. And it's really a battle of the styles. I mean, Barallo's got an extremely swarming, dominant, grappling approach to his game. Really, really talented on the mat as a grappler. I think he trains with Damian Maia. I think he does. But he looks really, really good in the UFC. And he's taking on Michael, who's a really talented striker, but bad takedown defense, bad ground game. I think if this fight's all on the feet, it's going to be clearly for Michael. If it's going to be a grappling affair, it's going to go to Barallo, and I think it's going to go towards Barallo. So I really like Barallo in this fight. He's the heavy favorite at minus 365. Honestly, I think if you like Michael, you just take that KO method of victory. I think here's what I'll say. Maybe this is our opportunity. I think this is the first fight. I like the no at minus 250. I think this is the first fight we see the submission for Barallo. Gosh, at only plus 120. Damn it. But I think if you like Michael, just bet on the knockout. Just bet on the knockout. I think that's likely what it would be. I don't think it's going to be a decision, but yeah, give me Barallo. I kind of like that fight doesn't go the distance at minus 250 as maybe a potential parlay piece, but I'll think about it, and again, I'll post my official picks and bets on Twitter. If you see my mouse, you can follow me there. The next fight we've got is Song Yadong taking on Ricky Simón, the main event. Song Yadong's on a one-fight losing streak, just lost to Sandhagen. Ricky Simón is on a 5-fight win streak. Opportunity, obviously, against Sandhagen, who's arguably in line to be next up for the 135 belt, right? I don't know. I go back and forth a little bit on this, but I think so. Song Yadong's going to be the better striker technically, just the better boxer, right? But I think Ricky Simón is going to be a far better grappler, and he does bring a grapple heavy approach. I think he's very explosive, athletic, strong. I really like Ricky Simón in this fight. Oh, I gotta close out the poll. See what everyone voted for. Oh, it looks like it was a tie. It was a tie. But I really like Ricky Simón in this fight. I just think he's more well-rounded. He's got that grapple-heavy approach. I think that's going to pay dividends in this fight. We haven't seen him go 5 rounds ever, but I think he's going to be fine. I really think he's going to be fine. I think he could also hurt Song Yadong. But yeah, give me Ricky Simón in this fight. Maybe a decision. Ricky Simón is minus 120. The KO for Song is plus 200. I do not like that. Ricky Simón, the decision at plus 215. I like that. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. That's interesting. I mean, I guess we could see a Ricky Simone like rear naked choke, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a decision for Ricky Simone. Let's go back and check out. So that concludes the fight. We're done with that. Damn, the Kings are winning. So the last game, the Kings were like draining threes at an unsustainable clip. They're not doing that tonight. They're probably just out rebounding. 31 rebounds to 20. Wow. Looney's at 7. But yeah, 31 to 20 before halftime. It's a pretty big discrepancy. The Warriors, on the flip side, not really shooting well offensively. They have a lot more free throws. That's interesting. I think the Warriors probably stand a good chance at a comeback. They're still the favorite? Are you kidding me? I'm going to just do the 21-5 hate, and then I'll be at 300 even. I don't know if you see that. Okay. NBA. I think I'm going to just do 20 here. I think Memphis can come back and tie it up. I really do think they can. Okay, whatever. Just let me place my bet. There we go. I do have a couple of same game parlays open, like $10 ones for both games. Sabonis. I have one on. Well, let me just pull him up. Oh, we've got Clay. Game 6 Clay. Clay's at 16. Hell yeah. We did 25 plus. At plus 150. So we're doing pretty good there. So Clay 4 3-pointers. Steph 4 3-pointers. Wiggins 2. De'Aaron 25 or more. Looney 15 rebounds. Warriors to win over 236 points. Okay, here's what I'll say. The Kings, if you bet the over this year on the Kings games, you were cleaning up. They were so productive when you like doing the over. And then I did 30 plus for total points, rebounds, and assists for Sabonis. Sabonis is at 9, 14, so he's close. He's close. We need him to get, going a little bit. Looney needs 8 more rebounds, which he could do. How are we doing on the 3-pointers? Wiggins. Yikes. Wiggins. Come on. Gotta get 2 out of Wiggins. 2 more for Steph and Clay. Anyways. I'll share with you my Memphis one then too. So Memphis Grizzlies money line, Desmond Bane over 21.5, John Morant over. You know what? Desmond Bane is so disrespected. This dude is unreal. He's unreal. Ooh. I'll do 25. Okay, just to show you. I think Desmond Bain is disrespected. I think he is. I'm more confident in him to score 25 points than I am Ja. And Ja's at... I'll tell you what, Dylan Brooks, I've watching this series, he's definitely the biggest liability in the playoffs thus far. Another thing I like, you know who's just been unreal? It's a lot. I don't know if I like that. But let's check what's trending and not getting in any trouble. So the Bears...
Tackle and linebacker. It's a Noah Fant in the actual trade, and then the picks turned into Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, tackle and linebacker, Devin Witherspoon, and then Derek
Let's
Hall,
fucking go!
one of those picks in last year's draft. Now,
Let's go Bears.
Noah Fant in the actual trade, and then the picks turned into
Let's go! Is that Charles? Yeah, that's Peanut Tillman. It's Peanut Tillman. How's the draft going? Wow, we got another defensive tackle. Oh, yeah. Exceptional quickness and hand speed versus the run to... I'm excited. I'm excited. So we're just building in the trenches, it seems like, this year. We did offensive linemen, 2D linemen. Interesting. Okay, let's explore. Let's go back. Let's explore. Let's try not to get in trouble. Alright, Titans, Malik Willis. Oh, because they just drafted the kid from Tennessee. Or Kentucky. Same thing. Yeah, there's just a lot of NFL stuff trending. S&P 500 will crash 20% as panic sets in and gold hits 2,300 in 2023. Feds will cause more tremors in the banking sector. I will say this, everyone, like, it's not a bad idea to invest in gold. If we're being real with each other, right? If we're looking at... I mean, wow. You know what would be interesting, I bet, is to overlay this with the S&P 500. And what would be another good... The Dow. I do think I don't know. I definitely look at the markets, and I do think that I do think we're in for another crash, because I don't think we've really had... I don't think we've really had a reaction quite yet to the interest rate hikes. I mean, you could say, like, yeah, this gap right here from the highs to where we're at, where we were at and where we're at today. You could say, like, yeah, that's that was the reaction, but they're still going. And I mean, this kind of stuff it tends to play out over time. And this was very drastic, this decline over, I mean, pretty much all of 2022. That was drastic. I think we're set to decline again. I think we're going to come back here and test these pre-COVID numbers. That's what I keep saying. I think we're going to come test this. 320, 209. I think this is where the buy zone is, where we're settling. Anyways. MasterCard. I wonder what XRP's at. Yeah, I hope XRP wins this lawsuit. It'd be crazy if they did. I think it would really be crazy. Alright, I think that's going to be it. We've been here for a little over an hour. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Like I said, if you're not already, please give me a follow on Twitter. It's right here. I'll post my picks tomorrow. We're doing very good. We're on a hot streak. So give me a follow. Have a good weekend, everyone. Have a safe weekend. I will probably check in with you next Friday.